Calgary, it's actually pretty popular to have some shrubs and trees, and I want to know what kind of shrubs grow best here in Calgary and why. So we're here at Spruce It Up with Merle. You say that this dogwood is popular?
It is, because again, we always go back to our long non-season of growing. So a nice thing about a dogwood, it's giving you both seasons. It's giving you great flowers in the spring, really, really nice foliage all summer long. But then again, in the winter time, you're going to get the red bark going, so you can get really nice winter interest, which is really, really nice.
Okay, great. So the nice thing is we're not just talking about one season. This is actually providing a structure through our long winters.
And that's the thing about a good design. You really have to think about when you're designing a garden, what you're going to get for 12 months, not just the one bloom that you're going to get from one thing. So you really got to plan it out and understand where you're putting it and what they're going to see in the wintertime as well, because there's 8 months of the year in Calgary is where you don't have a lot of foliage on it, so you need to have that.
Exactly. So we've got these shrubs at lower level. We've got some redwood and some yellowwood.
Yep, the dogwoods for sure. And then you go over to the burning bush.
Oh, I love that.
Great shrub.
Nice and green.
Really, really nice. In the early spring, you get a really nice flower on it. And then really, they're almost tropical looking. And the bark is really ornate, different color and different shape.
Yes.
And the fall colors.
You know, this place is frustrating. Calgary's frustrating because it seems like we go green, yellow, and brown.
Yep.
But this burning bush,
you're gonna get some reds.
Bright red.
Yes, which is awesome. And we get a lot of people that have moved here from the east. How can I get some red into my yard? Because back east they get the oaks and the maples and different things. Here, the burning bush gives you that really, really nice red color in the fall.
Here, a lot of new properties are just really booming. They're just sprouting out. And so we're actually finding that we're having smaller properties.
Definitely. So the columnar trees are really, we get a lot of requests for that. I need privacy. So how do I deal with that? Everyone goes to the Okanagan. Summertime, they see those gorgeous hedges in Kelowna.
Yes.
Can I do that here? Not so much. Again, you see the box stores bring them in early spring. They sell them for 15 bucks. They're all dead by fall typically. Fastigata spruce, columnar spruce, is a great alternative. It stays 3 to 4 feet wide, grows straight up, really, really nice and compact. You put them in a row, you can create a really, really nice hedge and nice and hardy that's going to live here in Calgary.
Oh, I know it's a nice hot day and it makes you think about being in the Okanagan and having some fruit. But no, we live in Calgary and hot days like this are few and far between. So Merle here at Spruce It Up says we can still have a little bit of an orchard in our backyard.
You can actually do a full orchard here.
Oh, really?
100%. And definitely, we have a full selection of lots of fruit trees. The hardy mac is a great tree that was actually developed here in Calgary. It's the one true Macintosh apple that is hardy for our area. It's very, very good. And then you go, we also have one that has 5 different kinds. It's a combination apple. So you'll have, and what it is, each one has been grafted on there, different variety onto a main hardy rootstock. Great tree. Great for small yards where you don't have room for 4 or 5 trees. If you want to put one smaller one and you can fit 5 different kinds all in one tree. Plus it looks pretty neat when you got different kinds of fruit growing on.
Oh yeah, and you're not talking about the little crabapple trees.
No, these are all real apples. So you're getting good medium to larger size apples, especially with the hardy mac. Again, a little larger apple. These ones, great medium size. You're eating real apples.
See, because how many people do you know do the harvest and drop, right?
Yeah.
A bag of crab apples, boom, on your doorstep.
You get the doggo crab where all you're getting is a bunch of little ones.
Yes.
They're hard to eat, right?
Especially when you don't like eating the seeds.
No, that's for sure.
Now, I also love cherries. That's another big successful thing here.
And again, the University of Saskatchewan has really done a great job at developing a whole line of, they're called the Romance series of cherries. So you have the Carmine Jewel, there's a Valentine, Cupid, and there's 3 or 4 different varieties of cherry trees that are hardy here and you get real cherries. They're a little bit on the sour side, but the way I look at it, I'm eating a real cherry in Calgary. If it's a little sour, I'm okay with
Well,
that.
I heard the sour ones are really good for you.
They are a little more of an antioxidant.
Exactly.
We're going to go with that, Astrid.
It's true.
Yes, definitely.
And I have to say, the butterflies around that cherry blossom
Love the
was
cherry.
amazing.
No, they love the cherry tree. So
Okay, so also an issue around the Calgary gardens is also, yeah, I love the blooms of the fruit trees,
Yes.
but I hate the little fruit that ends up making a mess.
yes, so we go, and then you have the ornamental crabs. So you get a little bit of you get a different color, and typically with your ornamental, some are white, but more of them are the pink and reds and lighter pink colors, and you'll end up with a tiny little fruit for the most part. People say, can I eat those? Well, if you really want to, but I wouldn't. They're pretty tart and pretty hard tasting. But this, you get a gorgeous, gorgeous blast of blossoms. First thing in the spring, beautiful tree, nice foliage in the summer, and they have a nice structure, so they're a great structure plant.
And a good height as well.
Definitely.
Talking about height, a lot of places still need the privacy,
Yeah.
but you don't also want to make the area dark in the winter, so go
Exactly.
for a deciduous tree.
Exactly. And in Calgary, the columnar aspen has sort of always been our go-to privacy screen. The great thing about this is that we have the Dakota pinnacle birch.
I can hear the leaves
Isn't it neat?
rustling.
Yeah, it's awesome. But it stays columnar. It looks like a coniferous tree. It looks like a spruce tree. It's wider at the bottom and goes to a nice point at the top. Gorgeous tree. Gets in the 15 feet high, 6 feet wide. So again, for those privacy areas in between neighbors or a nice accent tree, great, great tree to use.
Okay, so this tree I can actually put in my trunk, but you've got bigger trees.
Definitely. We got the big ones.
Okay, you weren't kidding when you were saying you got the big ones here. How tall is this, Merle?
This one's close to 15 feet high, so these are larger spruce trees that we bring in. So I like to say we go from the small, medium, and definitely the large ones.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people do not want to wait, so this is a great option.
Yeah, I can't fit this baby in my trunk.
No, and the nice thing about us, we do deliver and install all of the trees, even the little ones, right to these ones. We have that service. We have the crane trucks, we have all the equipment and the guys to look after all that for you.
And if I wanted this for a Christmas tree?
Not so much in the house, definitely not. In the front yard, yes.
This is beautiful. Not only is it beautiful, it could actually serve as a good windbreak.
Definitely. In Calgary, that's an issue quite often is a wind comes up. As we all know, we get the gusts coming in. I like to do them in groupings of 3. And then if you do a larger windbreak, what you do is have poplars on the outside, spruce in the middle, and then lilacs out in the front. And then that pushes the wind over and it's not able to push through it. So it's great.
Okay, we're going to make our way over towards a tree that Calgary loves. Okay, this is the tree that Calgary loves. And they not only love it, they have an addiction.
They do. I call this the crack cocaine of Calgary. It's the tree that's the most sought after. Again, privacy's an issue. A lot of the new neighborhoods, the yards are a little bit narrower, the houses are a little bit taller, and everyone has their decks at the same level, and they just don't want to look at each other all the time when they're out on their decks. So these columnar aspens are great for that solution. Put 3 to 5 of them in a row right beside each other, create that wall of greenery, blocks out noise, visual block out, great tree for that.
And Spruce It Up will probably have the most of these in the
Exactly.
city. Not just the small ones, but this nice big caliper.
Yeah, we have rows and rows of the columnar aspens, one of the most sought after trees in Calgary. And we also deliver and install. We'll come to your house, dig the hole, do the whole thing for you. You don't have to worry about it.
That's nice because earlier I fell into a hole.
Yeah, we have a little bit big holes here, definitely.
So the good thing is I don't have to dig my own at home.
No, we'll do that for you.
Another beautiful tree. This is the Schubert.
Schubert chokecherry, great tree for Calgary. It starts out, it's one of your first trees that you'll see budding out in Calgary. And then you get great white blooms all over it. This one, as you can see, it's just budding, just ready to pop. You'll have very fragrant. You'll be able to smell it. And then when the heat of the summer kicks in, sort of end of June, this will turn a gorgeous purple color. So it gives you a different color throughout the whole summer. Great,
Nice.
great tree.
So you did mention the different months of the year. Now it's spring right now, good time to pick up tree. You've got a good selection. Is it okay to buy a tree in the summer and in the fall
Definitely.
and in the winter?
All the caliper trees, we pre-dig them all in the early spring when they're still tight bud. So we're not digging in the summer, so we dig enough inventory to get us through the summer. And same with the potted trees. They're already growing in pots, so you're not doing anything to the tree that's gonna harm it. To try and do it in the summertime, I definitely wouldn't do it, because then you're cutting off all the root system and the foliage will just demise. It just will not do well.
Yeah, and actually summer, sometimes you might think of it because you think, oh man, I suddenly need the shade.
Yeah.
And you're afraid of the fall, but fall is actually a nice
It's
time.
a great time to plant. All summer right to fall, a great time to plant. And sometimes that's the time to plant, is when you see the need for it, because in the heat of the summer, God, I wish I had a really nice shade tree. Go down to Spruce It Up. We got lots of big ones for you.
He loves saying that. Here at Spruce It Up. Thanks, Merle.
Actually, I started when I was 12 to 13 years old, worked in a local garden center in Bowness. Grew up in this industry. It's all I've ever done. From 13, I'm 46 this year, so a little bit of time in this field. 33 years now, so kind of like it. My kids, great kids. I have a daughter, Jaden, she's 11. My son, Derek, is 10. Jaden actually is quite involved in the company already. She likes to work here, comes in weekends. She actually does our commercials on the radio as well. And she came up with our saying, you'll see the staff run around with shirts, say the spirit of gardening. My daughter came up with that. My son, he's not quite into the gardening yet. So once the machines get rolling, he'll be in on it too. May, June, and July, definitely the craziest time. I love that time of year. We're going hard, customers are here having fun, and it's a great business because we're helping everybody out. We're bringing flowers, trees, and shrubs into the yard. We also have a full landscape design and construction end of our company. Love that part of it. We get to go to people's homes, come up with solutions for their problems. It's awesome. Spruce It Up is located right on McLeod Trail and 210th Ave. Can't miss it. I got a great big huge pot in the parking lot, big sign. Can't miss us. Right on the edge of, we're in Calgary.